The wind swirled over the fading plans and metal stakes that had once promised harmony, whispering across the dusty plains of Coyote Pass. They lay forgotten now. Once full of optimism, the vast Arizona sky loomed over a land shattered by betrayal, secrets, and time. Kody Brown stood at the boundary of the property line, silent. The metaphor of his boots being slightly submerged in the fragile dirt did not escape his notice. He had originally planned to build 4 unique residences here, one for each of his wives, encircling a main house where the family would meet. It was intended to serve as a legacy, a haven where the family could age together. Like dust in the wind, that vision was gone. Robyn Brown came up behind him, her arms folded across her chest. The silence between them stretched tensely as her gaze swept over the landscape. She said, "Do you still believe in it?" The weight of the inquiry, not the cold, caused her voice to falter. Kody took a while to respond. He inhaled deeply and let it out gradually. Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Even though he already knew, he asked, "In what?" "In polygamy. In everything." She gestured towards the deserted land, the ghost town of unfulfilled hopes. Kody carefully shook his head while maintaining eye contact with the horizon. "I had the strongest belief in it. For that, I gave up everything. But Robyn, take a look around. It ruined everything." "I didn't want to be the last wife," she said, her voice breaking. "I didn't want that at all." Kody's jaw tensed as he turned to look at her. "So why did you always feel that way? Like once you entered the picture, the others didn't matter?" Neither of them was prepared to properly explore that subject. The Browns had stood on this ground with bright eyes and open arms just 5 years before. With dreams written on napkins, conversations about wraparound porches, and grandkids running barefoot on the ground, each wife had selected a package. The most optimistic had been Janelle, who shown her dedication by relocating to an RV on the property. Sensing the tension rising around Kody's partiality, Christine had hesitated. Emotionally banished but holding fast to tradition, Mary continued to strive to believe in a non-existent reality. And Robyn, who wanted the dream but knew she was at the center of its disintegration, appeared to be torn between entitlement and remorse. There were now just 2 left. They weren't even in agreement. The hush was broken by Robyn's statement, "We should build. At least from our perspective. The package is still with us. We can use it for something." Kody laughed without humor. "What should I build? A reminder that there was nobody else present? That I was unable to maintain the family unit?" Frustrated, Robyn turned to face him. "The family abandoned us, Kody. They had lost their faith. They left. The only people that stayed were us." He yelled. "They left because they couldn't handle who we had become. I never fell in love with them, but they saw me fall in love with you. I didn't stop it either. I wasn't good enough at hiding it." Robyn had sparkling eyes. "So you hold me accountable." Kody remained silent. A few days later, Cody and Robyn sat with a real estate lawyer in a fluorescent-lit, antiseptic office. It was a chilly, business-like atmosphere. The lawyer stated, "We'll need to formally parcel the land if you want to build. The approval of the other owners is required. Mary and Janelle are there." "They refuse to sign," Kody stated bluntly. "Janelle believes the entire hillside is hers. I haven't even heard from Mary in months." Robyn spoke in a quiet, measured voice as she leaned forward. "Imagine if we were to buy them out. Silently. Or compel a sale. Let them leave the land as well if they have no interest in interacting with this family." The lawyer's eyebrow went up. "That might get messy. It might become public." Robyn's voice was hardly audible. "I'm sick of being referred to as the bad guy. However, it's okay if I have to play the villain in order to move on at last." A message was sent out by Kody. A family gathering. Virtual, of course. There was no longer any trust to assemble around a table. Janelle was the first character to come on screen, her face already prepared for combat. Mary followed, silent, icy, and unintelligible. Christine then unexpectedly logged on from Utah, much to Kody's amazement. He cleared his throat. "On Coyote Pass, we are constructing. In our area, all of you have stated unequivocally that you are done with this family. Therefore, we're going ahead without you." Janelle's cheeks flushed. That land belonged to us all. Out there I lived. For it, I made sacrifices. You refused to accept it. Then, uncannily composed, Mary spoke. You didn't plan on building for me. Let's be truthful. You emotionally distanced yourself from me years ago. This is about what you believe you can get away with, not about what is fair. Christine smirked cruelly as she leaned towards her camera. Kody, you don't want a family. Power is what you desire. Additionally, you're concealing it behind Robyn's skirts. Kody closed his laptop with a slam. Kody rubbed his temples while sitting on the side of the bed that night. Robyn came in silently, her face white. With an old journal from her early days in the family, she sat next to him. The pages were smudged with emotion, water-stained and worn. Kody, would you ever get married again? She inquired. He avoided eye contact. No, never. I'm finished. Her voice could hardly be heard. What are we then? Do we still have several marriages? Or are we merely acting? Kody let the quiet do the talking. By force, not choice, they had become monogamists. Robyn glanced at the journal below. Before he could see it, she brushed away the tear that had fallen down her cheek. Over Coyote Pass, the sun rose gradually, illuminating the desert in shades of crimson and gold. Wide, desolate acres could be seen in drone footage. No houses, no building, no cohesion. During Janelle's RV days, she left behind a wind-blown flag that got entangled in a scrub shrub. The camera pans out while Robyn's narration plays. Here, we didn't construct anything. Not residences. Not faith. Only delusions. And that is something we now have to deal with. The land and sky of Coyote Pass had changed. It was now a battlefield, revered by some but soiled by others. Janelle Brown was ready to fight because she believed that Kody had breached a promise. A copy of the original Coyote Pass property deeds was stretched out in front of Janelle as she stood at the kitchen counter of her neat Flagstaff townhouse. Annotated, highlighted, and accompanied with her notes. She could still hear what her lawyer had said. Without a court order, Janelle, they cannot make you sign anything. And will make it public if they attempt. She grabbed her phone and went through the scores of missed Kody texts. Her thumb lingered over Mary's. Mary, I'll assist if you're sincere about blocking him. Let's have a conversation. In private. Janelle sat with a stern look on her face across from her lawyer. Elena Martinez, her attorney, was looking through old contracts belonging to the Brown family. Elena, everyone has a portion of the land. Equal distribution, yours and Mary's shares remain active, but Robyn received Christine's portion upon her departure. And they want to sever the land now, said Janelle, cutting. For their ideal home? No, not taking place. Elena, a motion to partition was filed. However, we can freeze everything if you countersue for verbal agreement violations and misrepresentations of agreed intent. With fire in her eyes, Janelle reclined in the chair. Janelle, take action. I'm tired of being pushed away. Let's start this conflict. Christine and Mary met at a small cafe outside of Salt Lake City. The discomfort was lessened by their shared past, even though they hadn't seen one another in months. Christine, you think Janelle has a shot? As she drinks tea. Mary, she is the one who does if anyone does. The books and receipts have always been with her. It was the land where she lived. The only times Robyn went outside were twice. Christine gave a nod. How about you? Your stake is still significant. Mary paused. I don't want to be angry. I just want to hit them where it hurts. With veracity, she took out her phone and went to the voice memos Coyote Pass folder. She hit the play button on a tape. Robyn muted in the memo. We just have to wait them out. They'll leave like Christine did. After that, it belongs to us. Christine's mouth clenched. That's the smoking gun, said Christine. Kody paced in front of the TV, reading court paperwork out loud as Robyn sat by herself. His voice grew louder every second. Angrily, Kody says, she's suing us? We all agreed to share the land, so why are you suing us? Robyn's hands were shaking. We didn't anticipate her going this far. Kody turned abruptly to her. We didn't take them seriously enough. Each and every one. Janelle, Mary, Christine. They have had enough of being silent. Robyn bit her lip. All we wanted to do was start a life. Kody's voice trailed off, weary and resentful. Their goal is to destroy that life. They won't let us leave, but they won't return either. Robyn gazed at the TV screen that was flashing. They were watching TLC reruns of their previous programs. Her face was youthful, optimistic, and full of faith. When Cody and Robyn got home, they were met with humiliation and quiet. TLC halted production indefinitely while internal producers discussed changing the focus of the show from the Broken Center to the rebirth of Janelle, Christine, and Mary. Janelle, meantime, went back to Coyote Pass. At sunset, she stood on her property. Yes, alone but proud. "You don't get to erase me," she muttered as she peered out at the horizon. "Not now." Once more, the camera drew back, revealing the parched, scarred terrain beneath a battered sky. It is now more than just a battlefield. It is a symbol, and there's more. The toxic relationship that Kody Brown had with his ex-wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine Brown, has been candidly examined in Sister Wives Season 19. The viewers have attributed the disintegration of the Pauley family to Robyn Brown, Kody's only surviving wife. However, the patriarch of the Brown family is also largely to blame. In actuality, the aftermath might not have been as unpleasant if Kody had not been so obviously biased in favor of his youngest wife. However, Christine seemed to have suffered the most from Kody's emotional neglect out of all the wives. Even though Christine was frequently seen as the family's emotional rock, it was always painful to witness Kody treat her with such contempt. Christine has talked candidly about feeling invisible to her ex-husband during Sister Wives. But now that she and David Woolley are in a committed relationship, she is at last discussing the severity of her difficulties. In the Sister Wives Tell-All Special Part 3 airing on June 8, 2025, Christine confessed that she realized their relationship was essentially gone the moment Kody announced to the family that he was getting married to Robyn. Christine claims that she and her ex-husband had a wonderful relationship for a long time. "It was just a blast," she said exactly. But after he married Robyn, Christine began to feel as though they were missing something. Christine found it difficult to comprehend Kody's choice to officially wed Robyn and adopt her children, even though he never formally divorced her like he did with Mary. Instead of being the deep bond it once was, their marriage turned into more of a formality. As Christine described how Kody had totally neglected her on all levels, emotionally, romantically, financially, and even physically, she added, "It wasn't a real true intimacy." Christine claims that when she and Kody initially got married, their private life was excellent. But as their marriage came to an end, it was essentially non-existent. Over time, the TLC star admitted, sex between the two of them became just an act and lacked genuine emotion. As Kody met her demands, she remembered feeling taken advantage of. Christine acknowledged, though, that it's possible she was using Kody for the same purpose. The saddest thing, though, is that she and Kody never discussed it and instead chose to leave things as they were. Christine believed that her ex-husband was fine with having sex as a requirement of their marriage. The father of the Brown family never really saw anything wrong with their personal relationship, even if it was only happening around 5 times a year. On the one occasion when Christine tried to speak to Kody, he cut her off right away and openly said that they will never experience intimacy in their marriage. Christine disclosed that she no longer wanted Kody in her bed after learning how he felt about the circumstance. The former sister wife began to become independent at that time and eventually worked up the guts to leave Kody. The problem was initially raised by Christine during the 2022 Sister Wives Season 16 Tell-All. She found this situation quite distressing because Kody continued to have intimate relationships with Robyn and Janelle. Given the Brown family patriarch's blatant partiality, it was not surprising that Kody and Robyn had a positive relationship, but his sexual relationship with Janelle was unexpected. At this moment, the audience realized that he and Janelle were incredibly uncomfortable near one another and hardly had any romantic feelings remaining for one another. Janelle, on the other hand, seems content with her and Kody's physical relationship being devoid of emotional ties. It's obvious that Janelle was able to handle their relationship differently than Christine since she had lower expectations for Kody. However, after learning that Christine was thinking about leaving him, Kody put everything on her and stated why he didn't want to have an intimate relationship with her. Kody claimed that he couldn't handle being around Christine in any way in this circumstance, and that it felt like she was stabbing him in the back. This demonstrates how Kody employed emotional neglect as a means of control and manipulation. In order to put all of his wives in a state of perpetual insecurity and competition with one another, Kody's preferred tactic was to withhold love and affection. Because he would make his wives feel unworthy of his attention the moment they challenged him, all of them were effectively compelled to keep in line and feed his ego for years. Let us know in your comments. And stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.